What's up, guys? So we got a question from Hailey, who's having some issues dealing with some injuries. Now, she says that the physical side of it, that's one side, but the mental side of it for her right now is more problematic. She says that it's affecting her mood negatively when she's not on the mats. She says that there's a lot of negative inner dialogue going on where she says things to herself like, I'm not going to get any better if I'm taking time off. I'm missing a lot of important stuff while I'm not training. And this is setting back my training. She's saying things to herself like this, and she was wondering if I had any help or advice on this situation. So, Hailey, thanks for the question. And again, this is kind of reiterating some of the stuff that we talked about already through Twitter, I think it was. But, you know, again, getting into it, guys, I'm going to give you my little esoteric little rant on injuries, setbacks, anything where your training's going along and it's not going along like you want it to. Think about it this way. If I tell you right now that I've been training for 15 years, it sounds like it's been this nice, smooth 15 years, right? 15 years have gone by, I was training all the time. It sounds like that, right? But we know that that's not the case, right? If we look on a map, and I put in directions on my map, right, to California, right, super far away, and I press directions. If I zoom out far enough, it looks almost like a straight line, right? But we know it's not going to be. If we zoom in closer, we'll see that there's twists and turns, there's gonna be some detours, some roadblocks, tolls I'm gonna have to pay. We know that there's gonna be traffic along the way that's gonna be a problem. There's all these little problems that are gonna slow us down on our way from one into the other, right? And it's even like this. If you've ever thought about this, highways, okay? Highways are not straight lines. Part of this is because of geographical stuff, but part of it is because if things are always the same when we're driving straight and we're on this long, straight stretch of road and the horizon is the same thing for too long, you'll literally fall asleep at the wheel. Your eyes will be wide awake and you'll be asleep. They call it a highway hypnosis. And so they make the roads kind of curvy and twists and turns. And with your own training, we don't like it when we're there, but it's these twists and turns that are necessary for the journey to get us there, right? It's necessary because if things were always going well, you wouldn't appreciate it, right? It's the sour to make you appreciate the sweet, right? It's the sort of the contrast of the two. It's the fact that you know what it's like to be injured. It's the fact that you know what it's like to, be defeated in a competition. It's the fact that you know what it's like to go into the gym and want to train hard, but it's just not working. Hell, right now for me, my training is in the dumps, so to speak. And I know what it is. I had competed, right, recently, and I won. I was training really hard up to that, and I competed. That's exciting. And then I did a couple seminars, so I'm being excited to share this information with people, meeting new people. That's going up. And then eventually I finally got home. And after all this traveling, all this competing, all this hard training, my body and my mind are just coming down, right? Now, I could be resistant to this and I could be frustrated by it, but I know what it is. Like Tuesday, I was rolling with the guys. I was trying to roll a little bit, and the guys were like telling me, dude, stop taking it easy on me. I was like, I'm not taking it easy on you. I was like, I got nothing left right now. My body is just shot. And I know what it is. My body's just going down. It's you have these peaks and then you have valleys, right? And you have to have the valleys to have the peaks. You literally cannot have a peak or have a peak without the valley. It just doesn't exist. If everything's peaks, it's just flat. So it's these things that go up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's the negative side to things that make the positive side so good. So when Hailey, when you come back to training, you're going to appreciate it so much more because you had it stripped away from you. You know what it's like to sit on the sidelines. And because you have that contrast, you're going to appreciate it more. And when you guys are in these situations, I've said this before, you got to embrace the suck. You can try to be resistant to them, whatever they might be, whether it's an injury, whether it's a setback, whether it's just you're not progressing like you want to. You can try to resist it all you want to. You're stuck there, you're in it, so you can try to resist, but it's not gonna work. Like right now, I could try to resist the fact that my body's just like, I'm not doing this hard training right now. Or I can just go with it and allow it time to recover and then come back up when it's time. And you guys should be doing the same. So again, when you get into that situation, if you feel like you're just coming down, go with it. If you're injured, go with it. Don't try to be so resistant to it. And as far as this whole idea of losing, right, like you're losing something, you're not getting as better as you want to, trust me, like I said, 15 years sounds like it's straight. I've probably not trained 2.5 of those for different reasons. Work, injuries, setbacks, whatever it is. Stuff's got in the way. So trust me, along the way you're gonna have those, and they're like little blips. Just like if we zoom out on that map, it looks like a straight line. When we get down in it, if I was to get down and sort of map out my training and make a little timeline, we would have these big gaps of weeks and months or whatever it might be because of different reasons. And so it's really not gonna set you back as much as you think it is because your mind's still there. Now, the one thing I will say, Hailey, is that if you're in a situation where you said you have some bruised ribs right now, typically, not always, but typically there's going to be something you can do, right? There's going to be something you can do on the mat. And if you go into the gym thinking, instead of saying what you can't do because you're injured, right? Go into the gym and see, like, what can I do? Can I hang out and watch and see what's going on? Can I get on the mat and maybe do some standing guard passes? Maybe I can talk to my coach and say, Coach, I can't do this stuff, but I can do this stuff. Could you give me some drills to do? Like during class, I do this a lot of times with the guys. Like when, like, let's say if I'm working on like maybe a double stack pass where we have people all crunched up. If someone had some bruised ribs, I'd say, okay, I want you to work on some standing guard passes so you're not putting any pressure on on your ribs. And so maybe you can do that. There's always something you can do though. And so guys, I kind of a little rant. Again, I'm sure I'm probably a little bit down right now because, again, I just got back. My training's down. My whole demeanor's down right now just because of coming off all those competitions and everything else. It'll come back up soon. But again, I'm sharing this with you because this morning I was in this situation. I was literally getting out of the coffee shop. I did a video on this morning. I was drinking a cup of coffee, and it's the first cool autumn day that we've had like all year. It's like 60 degrees, and I remember thinking, like, this day feels like I feel. The temperature's coming down, my energy is coming down, everything's coming down. And again, you just got to kind of go with it. You just got to ride it. Just like you ride the seasons, you just got to kind of ride it like that, just like you would anything else. So, guys, I hope that helps. Hailey, I hope this helps. And guys, as always, thank you for the questions.